Are you ready?
Born.
Okay,
right.
done.
Man, we are so excited. I was looking forward to this day.
Me too.
Just to hang out with Allie. This is Allie Lotshaw. She is our new youth ministry lead here at the Sandals Church Band and Campus. This is she is our most recent hire as a staff member. So she's officially paid staff, and couldn't be more excited about her. We had quite a few interviews. The vetting process to get on staff at Sandals Church is it's grueling, right?
Yes.
When you say so, there was a lot to it. And so she made it through that vetting process to get to the place that we're at right now. And so we thought we'd bring her in to the recording studio just to get to know her a bit, to show her off, and to just so people get to know who she is and what makes her tick, and just some interesting fun facts. And I have one to start off.
What is that?
Very fascinating fun fact, and I'm going to explore this a little bit because the fun fact I just learned about Allie is that she's deathly, and this is how she described it herself, deathly afraid of chickens and the ocean.
Yes.
So I didn't get a
not related
deep explanation of that. So now, not related. So now I'm going to explore why, where the trauma came. So let me hear the story about chickens, where that came about, because I don't think most people are deathly afraid of chickens necessarily.
It's not a common fear, but it's one that should be more appreciated and seen because it's very real. So my family has a business, and it's kind of it was in a weird area, and there was chickens that would just appear out of nowhere. Don't know where they came from. They just happened.
Just loose.
And there was a rooster they're mean. If you don't know, the roosters
aggressive.
are mean.
For a reason. They're protecting
They're mad dogging
family.
Always.
They're forever just aggressive towards people, and it's not necessary, but it's fine. And so I would just live my life. I think it was 4 at the time, and I was walking around this chicken, was making eye contact, keeping my distance, being respectful. And then started to walk towards me, and my grandmother was watering plants around this stair area, and the stairs were painted, so they were slippery when they're wet. And so I was trying to walk up these stairs, and the chicken came faster at me, and so I ran up the stairs, slipped and knocked all the wind out of me, and it was still, the chicken was still coming towards me. And I was this is over. And luckily my grandmother, the saint that she is, walked over and saved me from this chicken. I thought I was gonna die. I was this is the day where I meet Jesus, and it's because of this rooster coming at me. And so ever since, I'm I don't respect you, you don't respect me, stay away.
And you were how old at the time?
I was thinking 4 or 5.
Okay,
I was
so
pretty
at
young.
4 or 5 years of old, years of age, the way that she retells the story, there's a lot of detail there. So you know that this is traumatic memory that comes back, is played back and over and over again.
It's very detailed.
And anytime you see a chicken, that recording comes back up.
Yep. I'm no, not today, man. Stay away. That's why I work at Chick-fil-A. That's why I say it. I'm
So I was thinking, she works at Chick-fil-A, so she makes sure those things are
gone.
Those billboards are hilarious too, with the cows and.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
eat more chicken.
Yeah,
love
eat more
cows.
So we may have to reach out to Soul Care and kind of do some,
we might.
deep healing kind of ministry
Yeah, they handle
stuff.
that kind of stuff with chicken trauma.
But it did spark a memory for me, because I have a story about a chicken, and I thought it was this is early ministry experience. I was at a church, and I was given as part of my responsibility, each of the pastors had to rotate this emergency cell phone. And it was my time to carry it. So for 24 hours a day, for a few days, you would have this cell phone. And so people would call you, because this is a very large church in Southern Oregon. And you would get calls at odd hours, people going through crisis, issues and situations. And but one night, in the middle of the night, I received this call, and this lady was frantic, and she was talking about the fact that a chicken, it's one of her own, broke its leg. And so she woke me in the middle of the night, and I was I thought it was one of the other pastors had put somebody up to messing with me. Yeah. And I kept saying, are you serious? You can't be serious.
I'm not laughing at the chicken breaking its leg. It's just the call.
She was crying, sobbing on the other side of the phone. And so I finally okay, acquiesced, I said, okay, I'll pray. And she wanted me to pray specifically for the chicken. So I prayed over emergency phone for the chicken.
The chicken's name?
I can't remember, but at the
Cornelius?
time she literally had a name for the chicken. And so in the middle of the night, yeah, probably. So I prayed for a chicken. So that's my chicken story. Ministry and chicken related.
My chicken story is when I was a kid, I used to watch this movie called, was it Rock-a-Doodle-Doo or something like that? And it was about this chicken that was a rock star, and his name was Chanticleer. Just saying.
Nice. And you were a rock star, so that was your connection.
That might have been what made me want to do that.
Hey.
He was like an Elvis impersonator chicken guy. If you're around 37 years old, you've probably seen it.
So you brought up that you work at Chick-fil-A. So have for how long?
It'll be 2 years in January.
Okay.
So a minute.
So you're doing that in addition to this current role and balancing between those things. So you work hard and you get up early and work lots of hours. And so that's kind of part of your life right now is the balance between those two things.
Yeah.
You also, something that people might not know, you just recently came back from a trip to Disney World.
Yes.
In Florida. We got to enjoy the pictures of that. You went with your mom. She's been in England. She's it's kind of like acting school.
Yeah, drama school.
Drama school.
Nice.
And many of definitely the people from the San Bernardino campus would know her.
Oh, most definitely.
Because your mom has been on the worship team there for quite a long time. So anyway, you guys got a chance to meet up and she's coming back from England, and you guys met up and headed to Florida. And tell us about that trip a little bit.
It was really fun. I love Disney. Don't get me wrong. I'm a big fan, but my mom is really the one that spearheads everything. And so I'm just kind of there for the ride. Usually it's the opposite. The kids super excited and wants to go on this trip, and the parents just fit in the bill, and nope. It's my mom.
It's reverse.
It's my mom's extremely excited, and I'm like, this is fun. Let's calm down, please. And so it was a very interesting trip. It was really fun. It wasn't super packed like it normally is, and so it was more relaxing. But like you were saying, I get up for work very early, 6 a.m. No, I have to be at work at 6 a.m. So more 5 every day. And so I was excited to go on vacation and sleep in, relax. Nope, we were out the door at 7 a.m. every day. And I was like, there's a time change. It's earlier. I'm getting up at the same time every day still. It didn't go away. It followed me. And so it was, besides that, really fun. We got to eat all the foods. Mom and I aren't really into rides. We're more into the foodie time of it. So we ate a lot of food at all the different countries. And so it was a good time. We got to spend a lot of quality time, which was really fun before she has to go back. And yeah, couldn't complain. Definitely challenging my patience, and God was really using that for me of it's okay. They're God's children too. You still love these people if they're walking in front of you really slow. Really practicing that.
It's preparing you for your youth job.
Oh yeah, he's here you go. You want to experience now the love of Christ in all different forms, and so it was a challenge in some areas, but it was fun. We love Mickey Mouse, so can't go wrong.
That's awesome. Another thing that people might not know about you is that you grew up literally at Sandals. So starting at age 9. So you really knew life as a Sandalite at the Hunter Park campus, and then going into youth and being mentored by, for those who know, Vivi Diaz. And she was your mentor and kind of coach and has guided you along the way. And then you started serving in youth, and you currently serve at the Hunter Park campus and have coached other girls in the same way, mentored them. Actually, tonight is going to be your kind of final hurrah there. It's going to be kind of a tearjerker, I'm sure, as you, not literally say finally goodbye, but you're disconnecting from there on Wednesday nights and coming over here to lead on Wednesday nights soon. So growing up at Sandals, tell us a little bit about that, your experiences, your insights.
Yeah, it was such a beautiful thing. The story of us, my mom and I finding Sandals was so awesome. We really went through some hard times right before we found Sandals. 2009 was a really big year for my mom and I. We Like she got in a major car accident, like just all of these things, like, and she really hit her rock bottom because
so single mom raising
yep.
a teenage girl.
Yeah, a single mom, and she had me when she was a teenager, so she was a teen mom, and so we like really grew up with each other, and so I got to kind of experience like the crazy 20s that like anyone would really have, like with my mom. And so it was a really interesting kind of dynamic that we had. And 2009 she got into a major car accident, and it's so cool because where Hunter Park is located, it's on Palmerita, and if you go straight, like look straight down Palmerita, you see the freeway, and right there is when she got into her car accident. And so yeah, it was like a really crazy situation. And like 2 years later, after my mom got in an accident, we found Sandals. And it's literally been like history ever since. Yeah, I started and I was around 9 years old. And I remember my first day vividly. Again, more trauma. It was Super Bowl Sunday, and I was wearing like a nice dress and boots and looked all nice. And I walked into, at the time, our kids ministry was called Pipeline, and it was literally like everyone was wearing jerseys and face paint and like was going crazy because for the Super Bowl. And I was like, I'm wearing a dress and I don't like it here and I never want to come back. And little did I know, like that day I met some of my best friends that I still have to this day. And I just felt so loved and cared for. And the rest was history. Since then, I started going consistently every weekend. I served in like early childhood, then in like kids, and then in youth. And so I kind of like went up with age, and I just fell in love with it, and it's impacted me so much, and I'll be so thankful for that for the rest of my life. So,
and now, I mean, there's not many people your age. You're 20, 20-year-olds who say, you know what, I have a desire to serve in vocational ministry, particularly with youth. I feel a calling on my life, and so. You have, tons of support from the network level of people that know you because of your experience there, and because they see something in you that's pretty unique. You're also, you're a go-getter. You have vision. You're articulate for your age, and so like we just like acquired. This is the big leagues for us. Like we got acquired someone. And somebody that has deep roots in Sandals Church, and just has a lot of experience and has the vision already built into her because she experienced it herself, which is much different than like grabbing somebody from the outside who doesn't really know it, and we got to teach them all the culture. You already have it built into you.
Well, that's one of the things that like was really hard because when like we were talking back and forth about potentially hiring another youth lead. That was one of the things where it was like, how do we find the person, and there's a lot of different people that maybe applied for the job and stuff. It's to do this role. It's got to be a calling that you have. You're not just jumping into just any old position at any old job. Like this is, it's got to be like the person that's called to do this, and it's got to be like clear. Right. And, when we met you, it was kind of like, it was a no-brainer, and for me, it was kind of like I had these past few years with these students and with these leaders, and I love them so much and I care about them so much. And for me to like just immediately meet you and go, we're good. That was like, for me, it was just like a no-brainer. Pastor Brian met you and he's like, all good. Like we're just we're excited. We're really excited because I know, and I don't like, some people would go, yeah, 20, that's really young. And I'm like, you have no idea. This chick's going to kill it.
Yeah. Like a lot of maturity there. And then also you are not going anywhere. You're going to still be here. You're moving more fully into a campus operations lead. Your role has changed somewhat, but you're still around. You're still transitioning. You're going to be there to help Allie learn all the systems. We were even talking about that today, database stuff and Nexonia and all that kind of stuff. So it's super helpful in terms of her on-ramping, and so that you're not just going to leave her and just in the lurch, like figure it out on yourself.
And I was just talking to somebody about that recently too. It was just what a blessing it is that like it's not just I got to go do this thing. We need to hire a youth lead for this. I'm out of here. To be able to still be at this campus and do not have to do 2 jobs, do 1 full-time job and be able to give somebody the role so they can flourish and utilize all their time and energy into this. Because in the beginning for me, it was like that. And so I know what it takes, and that person needs to be focused on that ministry. And so,
and you also built a team.
Yeah.
So, the students that show up, are still going to, recognize the team that's there. They're going to be there to support and, assist.
And the team's excited. Yeah. You've met most of them already by now, and they're just great people. And I'm telling you right now, you're coming into a really cool situation, and people are going to support you and care for you really well and follow your lead. I mean, that's one of my biggest things is, like, people just need to be able to jump in this and kind of champion you through, and everybody's like, cool, sounds good, let's go. So you have something really cool and special that you're coming into. Yeah. So I'm excited for you.
Yeah, I'm stoked.
Yeah. So any other things? I got one more thing that is a fun fact. It's in line with the chicken thing, but
I did have a question about the chicken thing real quick.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I know you work at Chick-fil-A.
Yes.
And I would say strongly dislike chickens now. Do you eat chicken?
Oh, I do.
Okay.
Every day.
Is it like
Chick-fil-A is awesome?
Is that like on purpose to like get back at the chicken?
Well, when you work at Chick-fil-A, it's really hard to eat anything other than that. So unless I'm getting real creative, which I get very creative with my employee meals that I get every day.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's also a little bit like a gotcha. There you go.
That's what you get.
This. Yeah,
that's what you get for what you did to me at 4 years of age.
I remember it forever, and I will never forget.
That's a hard one.
Okay,
well, we're gonna help her process through that.
We got you.
Been holding on to this for a while.
Exactly.
As you can tell.
We're gonna make you a chicken lover
this is
one
the time
day.
for this part of your life. This healing process is gonna happen.
Yeah, I remember when like Justin Knowles was got challenged to jump out of an airplane because we got a lot of numbers for youth con or something like that, and it was his biggest fear is heights, and I'm like, if I had to do that, I'd be holding a chicken, and I hope that this never happens, and I think I set myself up for failure in this moment.
Yeah, exactly.
But
at least you're not risking your life. I don't think a chicken. I'm like, you jump out of an airplane.
I don't know.
Well, I mean, it was death defying.
It was they can peck pretty hard. Okay, they have really scary wings. They can go pretty high.
And roosters are like mob bosses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just point their wing, and all the chickens just go flying at that person.
It can happen.
It's herd mentality, man.
Okay.
It's not fun.
Don't make me afraid of chickens now.
Honestly, I'm a little nervous about chickens now.
You should be. They're walking in. What are they looking at? Why are they so calm until they're not? It gets too much.
Things I never thought about.
Man, please bring that up on January 18th when you start leading.
Welcome everyone. I am afraid of chickens. Please don't bring them. Okay, bye.
Please bring that up. That's good.
We're close to Cherry Valley and
Kuiper,
and there's a lot of
maybe we can bring some chickens in the sanctuary. We won't do that. We won't do that.
Oh no.
Going back to youth, is there anything that you want, it doesn't have to be about youth, but anything that you would share that we otherwise haven't touched on?
I think you touched on a little bit of my relationship I have with Vivi, which was a really big turning point in my life. I have such a passion for youth because I really struggled in youth. Truthfully, I had a really hard time with my group. It was just a really toxic environment at times. I love the girls. I think they're really awesome. I learned a lot from people that were in my discipleship group when I was in high school, but it was hard. And it made me grow a lot into the person that I am, because I was very much in high school a kind of almost, I lack of better words, doormat. And Vivi kind of saw that, and she was a couple of years into her being, I think, the youth lead, because I had Justin McVeigh before her, and so I really grew close with him. And so when he transitioned out and she came in, it was a hard transition for me because I just got so comfortable with Justin. But through that, I got to really get close with Vivi, and she kind of took me out to coffee one day. She kind of knew I was struggling with just some different girls and just handling situations in the correct way. And she just kind of pushed me because she's an 8. And so she was just kind of why are you letting this happen and doing all the things? We got to have some great conversations my junior year of high school. And then ever since then, I kind of just learned how to handle hard conversations and handle with people that sometimes make me very frustrated. And so it was a really cool thing being in youth and kind of growing up in that and getting to experience different people and getting to experience what different leadership looks like and kind of going from there. 'Cause I wouldn't have had those conversations with Vivi if she wasn't the youth lead. So
what a great model too of, how a youth can be mentored, and the fruit of that. I mean, even talking with Vivi now, like, she had no idea exactly how this is going to turn out, but now she's just beaming with pride for you and excitement about, what you're doing and how you're going to pour into the lives of the youth of Sandals Church Banning. And so that's a cool testimony of that. Yeah. It's even Dan Zimbardi, our executive pastor, was just saying when we were moving to hire you, and he's the final stamp of approval. It goes through Dan Zimbardi. And he said, this is an example of one of the things that we have done well. Yeah. And so that's a good thing.
And that was one of the things that like we really liked a lot was like, this is the direction our church is going, like we care about all generations, but we also really just want to put some fuel on. We want to be able to develop and build our younger generation, like, and allow them to lead and allow them to like be able to take the torch a little earlier on in certain things. And so I feel honored for us to be able to do that with you in this, and just know like and just be so excited. I'm like, we literally have like no doubt in our mind that you're going to do a great job. And that to me is just like, it makes this so much easier for me to step back. And I'm so excited to do that so that you can just, figure out your place and what God is calling you into. So it's just exciting.
This will be one, I think, of many conversations that we'll have along the way, because this will be a way for us to communicate too. What's happening in youth is just connecting with you, and putting out convos on that. I'm going to leave everybody on a little cliffhanger.
Oh no!
Okay, and the cliffhanger is this: I know one more fun fact specifically about you, and it has to do with the ocean. So I'm going to leave it there.
Oh, no.
So no one knows, but there's a fun fact about Allie Lotshaw and the ocean that we're going to explore on a different conversation down the road. And so you might have to ask her about that.
Leaving it hanging, man.
That's a good cliffhanger right there. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and pray for you, pray for the ministry and our youth and your leadership there and what God's doing in your life, and then we'll wrap this convo up.
Awesome.
Lord, I'm so thankful for Allie. We're grateful. We're excited. We anticipate great things that you're going to do in and through her, the things you've taught her, that you've shaped her and molded her, Lord, in the image of Christ, and not perfectly, but increasingly as she continues to walk with you. And I thank you for the insights that she's learned because she was mentored by Vivi, and the things she's learned through her own experiences in youth, and what she's going to bring from those experiences to her leadership. And I pray that, Lord, you'll hone her and shape her in her leadership here as she's committing to this calling that she has upon her heart to serve and to serve you. And so, Lord, I pray you would equip her, build a team around her. I pray that she would receive all the support that she needs. I pray that she would really be a mentor to so many of our youth. I pray that they would welcome her, embrace her, and then, Lord, she would be an influence in their life. And I pray that you'd grow this ministry, blossom it as it gets even more direct attention, because she's this is her focus for her employment. And I just pray, Father, it would be a sweet season for our youth, a sweet season for her as well, and a sweet season for this campus. And so we lay her before you. We rejoice in advance of that work, and I pray these things in Jesus' precious name. Amen.
Amen.
Did it.
All right.
Nice
so
job.
What about, so only the ocean? That's what
you can't go into that because you got to leave it as cliffhanger. You go into more detail.
What does it also relate to? Lakes and rivers?
It does not.
Okay, so it's only ocean. Okay, that's good. That's
good. There you go. Now you got
bodies of water.
Got to get people thinking now.
Yeah.
All right. That's cool. It's cool. Yeah.